Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Filmian podcast, where this time we're gonna film you in very small. Very small.
Teeny tiny.
Very small.
Schmoll.
I'm your host, Sander Langwiston, of this mania-filled episode, wink wink nudge nudge. With me, as always, is my wonderful friends. It's Mr. Hamish Beaton.
Hello.
And Mr. Joe Cook.
Hello!
Ooh.
Oh!
That's a chest to it.
I liked that.
A little bit of Alan Partridge today.
How are you guys this week?
I am exponentially, I want to say moist, but I'm not.
Coist!
Coist.
Let's go with coist.
No, I am very, very tired and happy. My room is clean. It is...
Wonder what that feels like.
I can touch the floor. It's nice. I know, shocking.
You're a grown-up now, man.
I definitely didn't have to have my partner come over and help. But, because it was that bad a mess.
Oh,
but, everything is fine now. I'm ready to take on the week and cry myself to sleep.
Fantastic. Joe, talk to me.
As per Crisp Rat in the Lego movie, everything is awesome on this end. I'm in maximum efficiency mode right now, so I am pumped for this.
There you go. Look at this. Look at 3 people doing things.
Beautiful boys.
You really tried to say that with like enthusiasm, but then you kind of
you gave
fizzled
up.
Out and
This is
forgot.
why.
I'm looking around in my room and I'm sat in squalor. This is awful. I can't see my floor. But yeah, no, it was a fun week. Unfortunately, I had to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, but I guess we'll get to that later.
I think you mean fortunately.
Someone's a little bit salty.
Someone's very fucking salty. All right, I just spent £9 on this movie. I'm not happy. Anyway,
Someone's a little bit angry.
Sorry, guys.
Ant-Man and the Wasp angry.
Before we get to the main topic, I think we should have a little bit of a tell me moan session.
Oh yes.
Joe, you came in hot and heavy earlier. You were like, I got a moan. I gotta tell you about a moan. So please
tell me about
tell
your
me moan.
So the Babylon soundtrack. No, it's not. It's not. No. So basically, you know how recently Bernard Cribbins sadly passed away, didn't he?
Yes.
And recently it was the BAFTAs, and he was missing from the memorial section.
Really?
I thought you were about to say he was missing from the BAFTAs.
No,
fucking dead.
No,
no.
No, but like the issue was raised online to the BAFTAs, and their response literally was, "We didn't have time. We'll consider him for next time." I'm sorry, what?
What?
That's crazy,
Huh?
you know.
That's shocking.
Bernard Cribbins had a massive career in British television.
Exactly. You know, the Railway Children and other films that I can't think of.
There are others, yeah. No.
There are other films, though.
Railway Children.
He was
and
in the new
Railway
Doctor
Children.
He was the voice in. Was it
The Wombles.
The Wombles. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. That is heartbreaking.
That is
shocking.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Well, shit. That's worth moaning about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God damn.
A big old man.
Most of my moans are going to come later on, but Hamish, do you have a moan?
I have a moan that's linked back to last week's episode, because I'm definitely not going to plug last week's episode. You should go listen to that.
You should.
But Joseph Cook, you spawned my moan.
Oh.
Right. Here's the thing. Whenever I watch something, it goes away in the head for a while, and over time it degrades and it devolves and it vanishes and it dies. And only very rarely does it ever crop up into my mind. Now that's the same as repressed trauma, right? You have given me that because of the fucking bubble.
Oh!
Last week we went on a rant about this movie, and I had completely forgotten about its existence. I was blissfully in a bubble of my own happiness. I was in a timeline where it didn't exist. It's like the Mandela effect. Joe dragged me back into that by mentioning the bubble. And since then, I don't know if it's like the FBI on my phone using the microphone to algorithms dropping it in. But since then, I have had recommendations to watch clips from the bubble. I've had recommendations to watch TikToks on the bubble. And quite frankly, I can't look at Pedro Pascal anymore without going, oh, fuck, he's in the bubble. I can't rewatch Guardians of the Galaxy. The third trailer is a phenomenal trailer. And I have unironically just sat down and rewatched it on loop because I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me. But every time I look at Karen Gillan, I go, oh, she's in the fucking bubble. And then the thing is, it has such a wide cast of recognizable faces that I begin to blend other people. Are they in the bubble? Did I not remember them being in the bubble?
The bubble was universal.
Was he in the bubble? Was Chris Pratt in the bubble? I've ruined Chris Pratt for myself now.
He was ruined in general.
I was going to say, he did that to himself.
Yeah.
He has done that for himself. But I look at David Tennant, and I'm like, wait, there's a Scottish actor in the bubble. Was it David Tennant? David Tennant's in the bubble. David Tennant's been ruined in the bubble. And you have done this to me. The bubble absorbs everything. It's like a virus in my mind right now. And I can't get rid of it.
Hamish, I'm about to pop your bubble because they're doing a sequel.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. I nearly went into cardiac arrest.
We were about to not record until the next Bubble movie came out.
I was about. If there is ever a sequel to the Bubble, not only will I not be doing the episode on this, but I will be locking myself in a padded cell.
I thought you were also going to say I will also not be on this planet anymore.
Oh yeah, no. I'm going with Elon. I'm going to Mars.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant as well. Jinkies. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good moan.
I think it's a valid moan, Joe. You piece of shit.
Okay, I guess I'll use a moan now, and I won't mention it later on when we get to the movie. But my moan has to do with cinema audiences and how they're just the fucking worst.
Did you get a stereotypical Marvel cinema?
Yes, I did, I guess.
Ooh.
No, maybe not. Maybe it's just a typical city centre screening. But I went to see Ant-Man with my dad. God bless him. And we sat down, and this group of 6 teenage girls sat in front of us, and they talked non-stop, and they were on their phones all the time, taking selfies with each other, and shining their torches and watching TikToks. And having asked them twice to turn their phones off and be quiet, I've never felt such rage. I'm quite calm about it now. In the moment, I could have punched something.
I didn't have it that bad, but there was one moment where someone was talking about a character. I have to be vague because we're not allowed to talk about spoilers yet, but someone was talking about a character, not directly, and there's someone in the audience, this grown-up just shouted the character's name. I'm like, what the hell? Keep that to yourself.
I had someone had decided to bring their, I want to say a fetus in. I don't know what age it was, but it was making the sound of death in the top left of the screen, and it was just right throughout the movie. And I think I hit a point of nearly kind of twitching in my seat with anger. But
yeah.
But in regard to you, Xander, in your situation, I've gone past the point of politeness in cinema. I will usually tell people once to be quiet, but after that, I've paid to see that movie. I'm not paying for the circus of fucking TikTok in front of me, and I will tell people to. Again, I do apologize because of the F-bombs, but shut the fuck up.
No, genuinely, if my dad wasn't there, I would not have been so polite. I said, will you please turn your phone off? And will you please be quiet?
The only thing
if my dad wasn't there, it would have been a lot worse. It would have been. But my dad was sat next to me. I can't do that to him. He's got nice ears. I can't do that to him.
The only thing I will excuse is during the trailers, because in R1, after the Mario movie trailer played, it went completely quiet and someone shouted "Yahoo!" and that was great.
Yeah, no, listen. Before the movie starts, it's fair game. Do what you want. The movie's not started, but as soon as the logo comes up, you stop talking.
Okay.
Stop.
So I do have a small counter to this, Moan.
Please.
I went and saw Endgame, and
I think I know where you're going with this.
And like for that kind of like monumental thing, it is a moment in the cinema when everyone kind of like, you know, they cheer, they roar, whatever the fuck, but it feels phenomenal.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between an audience who were invested in the movie and
That's
something
true.
happens and they like it and they applaud, and someone giggling to their friends, showing
definitely.
Snapchats from some boy they've been texting, and taking like listening to TikToks and trying to call people in the middle of the cinema. Like there is a difference to this.
No, there is a fine line.
There's a fine. It's not even that fine. It's like a fucking football
Slurp.
stadium line wide.
I do get that people don't also like that kind of, I want to say, Marvel culture to watching movies, like, you know, when you get so invested that you are kind of vocal about it. But people like my dad used to tell me a story of when he went and saw Empire Strikes Back, and his entire cinema gasped in horror as the "I am your father" line is delivered.
Wait,
and
what?
Yeah, people. Yeah, fuck you.
Darth Vader's Luke's dad? What?
Spoiler alert. But people gasped in like shock and horror at that, and people are like, oh yeah, no, that gets a pass, but people cheering for that kind of stuff, like, no, that doesn't. I don't get it. It's a bit of a double standard.
Yeah,
I get that Star Wars is a cult classic in that regard, but
no, it's
different generations, I guess.
It is, yeah. Like, I'm very okay with a movie cinema like cheering at things and clapping or whatever. I'm fine.
I
with that.
don't think I'd like too much of that.
But like, if it's one of those big films, like I went to see Spider-Man: No Way Home when that went on, and also if you've got a problem with that kind of crowd, and you're going seeing a huge movie, don't go see it opening weekend. It's not for you. If you don't want to go in and see something where you think people might cheer and clap in this, I don't really like that kind of thing. Don't go at a peak time. Go on a Monday evening or something. Don't go opening weekend and then get angry when people are who are really invested in the series get really excited about it. You're not going to see this at any other sort of thing. You'll see this in a big superhero movie when people are really invested in the franchises. So,
no,
if
agreed.
you don't want that to happen, don't go and see a movie opening weekend. I think that's fair, right?
No, that's fair.
Am I being a dick?
No.
Joe's looking at me like I'm being a dick.
I mean, you know, I go opening weekend, and my hearing is not the best, so I like to hear everything. So I always worry that if there's cheers and clapping, that I'll miss something. So that there's always that aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
But I do agree to some extent.
I get that.
Learn to lip read. It's a skill issue.
Yeah, just get
Gotta
good.
learn to listen, Lou.
Gotta learn to listen. That's funny. But no, like you said, there's a fine line. In Spider-Man: No Way Home, Andrew Garfield shows up, and everyone's like, "Whoa, yeah," going crazy. These two people decide it's time to have a conversation behind me. And I'm like, no, that's not what this is. If you're excited, you give it a clap and a whoop, but you don't start talking to someone. That's not what this is. So it is a fine line. You're right. But you've just kind of got to know the conventions of it, I guess.
I had two people who actively. This is a side note to like bad cinema etiquette. I had two people in my year when Force Awakens dropped who actively went to see it on release weekend, despite the fact they don't like Star Wars, with a notebook, jotted down all the spoilers, and actively went around my school screaming all the spoilers. One of them went up to me and went, Han Solo dies! Han Solo dies! And I was like, he was actually my friend at the time. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He went, no, it's funny because Star Wars is shit. And I was like, you're gonna get hit.
You should have replied with, "You're gonna die."
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, no, that honestly, it's bad cinema etiquette is just it's very rampant. It is the worst. Shall we?
Yeah,
crack on.
Let's move on. Wait, Hamish, do you feel that? Whoa.
Whoa!
I feel like we're being pulled away into an alternate dimension where Joe is someone else. And we're gonna go talk about some trailers for a little moment. Whoa! So, because Joe is a little weird and doesn't like to watch all the trailers and doesn't understand how podcasting works, we've brought in a special
Freak
guest.
of nature.
Absolute freak of nature. We've brought in a special guest. It's a good friend of ours, a slightly better friend to Hamish. It's Alex. How you doing, Alex?
Oh God, hello! Don't go telling everybody.
How you doing? Podcast debut.
Yeah.
I know. No, I'm excited.
It's your first
I love
first time
films.
on the infamous Film Me In podcast. You've heard so much about
How
it.
does it feel? How does it feel
God,
having
yeah.
being
Your
filmed in
moment
for the
of
first time?
stardom.
My
You're
moment.
being
my
filmed in for the
moment.
first ever time.
I'm excited. I mean, I listened to your guys' podcast anyway.
It sounds like
So,
a
like-
threat. I'm gonna film
It's like
you
Well, that's
in.
the point. It's
I'm gonna film
you
you
can
in,
say it.
Alex.
You
You
can
better be
say it in
ready,
any
Alex.
context, and it's funny.
Oh no.
I mean, yeah, no, I watch all the trailers all the time. I'm not like Joe. I'm not weird.
Oh.
I honestly probably watch trailers more than I do the actual films because I can't be bothered.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
listen to them
we-
sometimes.
So for context, to anyone listening at home, the reason why we've brought Alex on is because Alex is a trailer goblin, as am I.
Trailer goblin.
We,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the way we're going to refer to it as. We stay up because when you get the release dates for trailers and release times, of course, some people, because it's American time zones, they sometimes go to sleep and watch the trailers when they wake up. No, not us. Not us.
No.
That's crazy. I don't even do that.
We are there for the drop,
It was.
and we
I
watch
remember when it was 2 a.m. and we waited for the Batman, like
Oh, yeah.
2022 Batman trailer.
God.
We waited up till like 2 a.m. for
Well,
that trailer.
to be fair, DC Fandom, it came on DC Fandom, and DC Fandom's
yeah.
it sometimes
It's like
feels
4 hours
quite
long.
akin to tap dancing on broken glass. It's
Oh
it's
my
painful.
god! I remember when that Batman trailer came out at DC Fandom. I had to watch it outside the cinema because we were about to go in to watch Venom 2. And imagine watching
that's
art on your
unfortunate.
phone and then spending
No.
£9 watching garbage. It was
£9,
Yeah, down at the view.
I did unfortunately pay to see that at the cinema as
Yeah,
well.
we had to do a
and-
bro.
I
We did a
didn't.
double episode on that week. We did Venom: Let There Be Carnage and Halloween Kills. We did both of them in
That
the
is
same episode. I had to
shocking.
watch them back to back. It was one of the worst weekends of movie watching I've had in a while.
I haven't seen either of those films because I don't really watch horror, but like, I've heard that they are both atrocious. At least I know Venom 2 is atrocious because I
Yeah.
saw clips. But I was like, yeah, I'm not even
Woody
bothering gonna go
Harrelson
see
was
this.
such a good cast as well for Cletus Cassidy. But we're getting aside from
Yes,
the point.
we're here to talk. We're here
Trailers.
to talk about all of the trailers that dropped, all the big trailers that dropped during the Super Bowl weekend. Actually, technically, it's called a Big Game. You have to call it the.
Is it
You
called
have
Big
to call it
Game?
the Big Game trailers. You
is
can't call it the
it?
Super Bowl trailers. Do you know why? It's really
Why
interesting.
not? Why?
Because Pepsi owned the rights to the name the Super Bowl. So if you so
Wait, so we're gonna get a lawsuit.
well, that's why we have to call it the Big Game. You have to call it the Big Game. Can't call it the Super Bowl. It's not Super Bowl trailer. It's a Big Game
I didn't
trailer.
know that.
Crazy.
Okay. Well, the big game
Yeah,
trailers.
and
okay.
I think we were kind of blessed. I think we got some really good ones. Some things to be excited for. No,
I mean, compared to last year's, it's a bit.
I can't remember what
lackluster.
happened last year. I'll be honest.
I can't remember either, but I was much more excited. I was much more excited than I was this year, I guess.
I mean-
maybe it's because I'm only interested in a few of these.
The trailers this year, Marvel have knocked it out of the park. With the Guardians 3 trailer.
Yes.
Oh, come on. It's a brilliant trailer.
No.
DC came in with The Flash. And then, I'm going to be honest, some of the other trailers were a little lackluster. Transformers claimed to have a trailer.
It wasn't. It was like 2 extra scenes.
It was a
of
Porsche
Mirage.
advert.
It was a Porsche advert,
Are you
yeah.
talking about every single Transformers movie there? Because that's
No.
that's what
It was
they
an
had.
actual
No.
advert for Porsche. It was like, why Why drive limited when you can transform? And it's like Porsche.
Did you see it? Did you?
Wait,
was that
no,
on
I
YouTube?
watched the latest trailer. You guys sent me
No,
the...
no. Oh, yeah, so that's what you think is the latest trailer.
Yeah.
It's
That
30
came out
seconds
months
of
ago.
footage stapled on.
Oh.
Not even 30 seconds.
Oh, no.
The original trailer came out ages. Look, I say
Yeah, it was
ages,
back
but
in
it came
December.
out a
Yeah,
bit ago.
I've seen that
Yeah.
trailer. Yeah.
No.
Was that?
No,
Wait, hang on. What the hell are we talking about Transformers right now? Then they didn't release a
Because
trailer.
the
They
one
stitched
came out
like
for
30
Super
seconds.
Bowl.
We're moving on.
The
The
game, the big game, the big
big
game.
game.
Big game.
I'm gonna bleep out every time someone says the word Super Bowl.
And there's another.
Fast X got a trailer.
Yeah, no, these honestly, that last movie kind of broke me on this franchise. Fast 9 was so bad.
What? None of the others broke you.
No, listen, Fast 5 is really, really good. Fast 7.
And what about 6, 7, 8?
7 was
1,
really
2,
good.
3.
8 was a little bit darker, and I was like, okay, this is okay. Why not? Yeah, sure, take yourself seriously. And then 9 was just terrible. And it's just they put the whole films in the trailers, even like down to like the last shots of the movie. They're all in the trailers, which is a problem I have with a film we might be talking about later on. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, no, they've added so many new characters. Like Jason Momoa's in it now. They've got Brie Larson in this. They're still bringing back Helen Mirren. They've got Jason Statham back. Like,
I mean,
I don't understand
okay.
the plot. I don't understand how they
Okay.
can link all these
just
people together.
it's a film. It's a film that's got a load of people that you know with a load of cars that they want to shill, and I feel like that's what the films are becoming.
I just looked at the budget for this
Alex
movie.
is.
The budget is $340
okay.
million.
Oh my god!
And you know, they rewrote the final act within like a day.
Are you serious?
God.
Did you not read this? Yeah, the director came out because it's Louis Leterrier, who
Yeah.
previously directed The Incredible Hulk. Interesting
Ooh,
choice.
A great resume.
But he was brought on because the original director, it was what's his name? He did.
Side note: I wonder why he hasn't had much work. But
Oh wow!
The previous guy who did the last one, Justin Lin, he started off the franchise. And so he came back and was going to do 10 and 11. And he left 10 because it was so bad.
He should have, because 1 and 2 were so good.
Wait,
Okay,
are you talking about
1,
Too
2,
Fast,
3.
Too Furious?
No.
okay, I have watched Hobbs and Shaw, and I refuse to watch any more of these tripe movies.
I haven't watched Hobbs and Shaw. No, I'm talking about no, not Too Fast, Too Furious, not that one.
What are you talking
The,
about?
the earliest ones, some of the earliest ones, they were good.
The first one is actually kind of good. It's kind of like Point Break.
First one's
whatever.
amazing.
I haven't-
It's great.
Okay, very rarely do I make a judgment call on a movie without watching them, but on this rare occasion, I will swing my hammer on the entire franchise. It all looks shit.
I did a
yeah.
full franchise watch through in my first year of university. It took me a
bastard.
weekend, and I watched 1 through 8, and it was just before Hobbs and Shaw came out, or just after. I didn't have it on Blu-ray. I watched the rest of them though, and dear God, it made me tired. They're just like I understand why people like them. They're just big action films, you know, and
I mean, yeah,
they've got people
mindless
you know
action
in
is
them.
good.
It's like, yeah, okay, I'll watch this, but it's.
Wasn't there like a big issue with like The Rock and
Vin
the guy who
Diesel,
plays
yeah.
Vin Diesel? That was it. I was gonna say
Vin-
the guy who plays Dom Toretto family.
How do you know
like,
Dom Toretto, but you don't know who Vin Diesel is?
I don't know. I just forgot.
Well-
I just forgot. There was like a big thing with those two, wasn't there?
Yeah, they can't be on. They can't be on set together.
Yeah,
they
no, they-
refuse to be on set together.
They fell out.
That's
They fell out
funny.
while filming 8, and they're in one scene together, and they are shot on completely different days with stand-ins. It's so funny.
What happened? Does anybody know what actually happened? Or was it just,
Apparently Vin Diesel was kind of an arsehole on set, and The Rock was like, "I'm not working with this guy," and called him like some like prima donna bitch or something like that.
oh my god.
Like he just.
Oh my god.
So
Well, because they're the two big figureheads of the franchise, and
yeah.
if they're planning on rounding it out in the next movie after this one, I like to think that they've got them in some sort of couples therapy.
No,
Beforehand.
Vin Diesel came out while before they started filming Fast X. By the way, the titles of this franchise are hilarious.
Wow, yeah.
But he came out while they were filming it, saying, "Oh, like Dwayne, let's squash this beef. Come back to round out the
I
franchise.
remember this.
And The Rock was just like, no. No, I don't want to do this with you. Go away.
I remember this. Right. Moving on past Fast and Furious as fast as I fucking can.
And as furiously.
Guardians of the Galaxy. That trailer,
Good trailer.
that dropped, was beautiful.
Yeah.
Um,
What's your
I
issue with
have-
James Gunn? Why do you hate him?
No, I have no issue
Straight
with
to James Gunn.
I have no issue with
Alex,
James
why do
Gunn.
you
I
hate
think-
women?
I think. Oh my god. Yeah, that's me.
Sorry.
No, I don't hate James Gunn. He's rebooting the DC universe. I think that's amazing. He's done amazing things on all the other films. I mean, the Suicide Squad was incredible. I don't hate James Gunn. It's Marvel movies. There's too many. Like it's such a saturated market. They're going quantity over quality, and I feel like that's what they're going to do with this film as well.
Well, I think
I-
Kevin Feige came out in an interview saying they're moving away from that, which is why we're not getting as many Disney Plus shows, which is why I'm not sure whether you wanted to talk about it in a minute, but the Marvels did get delayed by 6 months. It was meant to come out in
Yeah.
July,
Did it?
and it's coming out in November now, which is why we didn't
That's
get a
good,
trailer
at
for that.
least.
And that's all because they've realised that people are getting sick of him, like with the movie we're going to be talking about a little bit later on. Like, it came out and people are they're sick of it now. They want something new. And the only thing that makes me feel better about Guardians 3 is that I do trust James Gunn. I trust him, and I think
Yeah.
Marvel trust him to just sort of get on with what he's doing and let him tell this story.
Well, the
It
thing...
was sorry. Go
So
on.
the thing is with Gunn is that he is very selective about who works on his movies.
Yeah.
Which gives me immense, immense. I've said immense twice now, and I'm blanking on a word. Immense, hope.
Immense!
Hope, yeah.
Immense hope that this movie will do well because he is very vocal about when studios push him for things, and he's usually very stubborn about it. So, Guardians has been his brainchild since day one,
Yeah.
and I'm really hoping that kind of track record stays. And I have a funny feeling it will. I think Guardians 3 will be one of the best movies of this phase of Marvel. Because, let's be honest,
That's not hard to beat.
it's not hard to beat. But
Well, actually,
We did have some
technically,
good
we're in
things,
the new
but-
phase now, and there has only been one movie, which makes it the best and the worst.
but aside from that, the soundtrack, Since You've Been Gone,
Tune.
Abs-
Absolute tune.
absolute tune.
Big up Rainbow. Love it. I'm a big
Rainbow.
I'm a big Rainbow fan.
Hamish didn't know what the song was before the trailer.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he'd never heard
Yeah.
it before, and I was like,
Well,
what?
no, I didn't know
was
the
like,
edit
what?
of it.
Since
It's
you've
an
been
edit.
gone!
No.
Since you've been gone,
I knew Since You've Been
could
Gone.
take
I
it.
didn't recognize the edit of it.
Could I be wrong? But since
you
you've
literally
been
We're gonna
gone...
get a copyright
And you're like, oh,
strike.
it's such a good song, and I'm like, did you not grow up with
No,
this?
no, I knew the song. I just didn't know the edit of it because the edit is so amazing.
The
And-
edit's the same as the normal song.
No, it's
like
not.
basically the same.
It's
It is
not.
basically
It's
Go
like
watch
it's
the
got like got the
trailer.
backing track away. It's just the vocals in it. they-
Shut up.
I think the thing that makes me most excited about this is the villain, which is played
Yes.
by, I'm gonna butcher his name, I'm so sorry, but Chukwudi Iwuji,
Ooh.
the guy from Peacemaker.
He looks phenomenal in that, along with Adam Warlock as well.
Yes, I'm so excited to see Adam Warlock actually.
And I've just realised that they've got Cosmo the Space Dog in this,
They do.
and it's played by Maria Baklova, and
Yep.
I recognise her face. She
Borat
was in
2.
Oh, Hamish,
Oh
do you
my
know what she was in?
God.
What?
She was in The Bubble.
No! 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 I remember this! No!
But in better news, she was in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
And she
So-
was in Borat too. Let's remember
Wait,
that
it
and be
was-
happy with that memory. Yeah, she's the daughter of
That's
Borat.
it. Yeah, I saw it there, but it's on IMDb as Borat's subsequent movie film, and I was like, what the hell is that? I don't know what that is. But yeah, no, she's really cool. So I'm
Yeah.
hyped for that.
I mean, I'm interested to see what they did tempting Nebula and Star-Lord. That was
Yeah,
out of nowhere.
They dropped that at the back end of the trailer, but I think that might just be a little passing joke. I don't know.
It is absolutely.
I
a
mean,
joke.
it's cute. It's
Yeah.
cute.
No, it is
I
absolutely.
wouldn't
a
mind
joke.
it. Oh, I wouldn't mind it. I think it's cute.
Have you seen?
I'm just interested to.
By the way, have you
Sorry.
seen all the people on Twitter go off about Karen Gillan on the poster?
No?
Oh yes.
You
It's
explain it, Alex. You explain it
mad.
to Hamish.
Okay,
don't want
right.
it.
So in the because it's just so dumb. In one of the new posters, compared to how Nebula in like the first films was, she had like quite a tight bodysuit, very feminine.
Oh, yes, I know
In
this.
the newest
yeah,
poster, she's
I've
got like
seen this.
her breasts are less defined, and she basically looks more relaxed. People are now calling this transgender like wokeness.
What?
Which it's not. She's just wearing a different baggy t-shirt.
Yeah, it's absolutely
I don't
outrageous.
understand it.
People
And,
like
as a
thanks
transgender
Marvel for
person
ruining
as
this
well,
for us. That what do you
It's
mean?
mad.
Marvel.
Like I'm a transgender person myself, and it's like, what? She's wearing a baggy t-shirt. Like, let the woman live.
It's
awful.
either she's wearing a baggy t-shirt or it's just Marvel censoring it because they're PG nightmares because it's
I mean,
Disney.
arguably, it's better that they're not overly sexualizing her.
Yeah, no.
But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Who the fuck gives a shit?
That's a
Well,
great
that's the
question.
thing.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Welcome back to the subsequent podcast sequel. Who gives a shit?
Guardians 3, though, was the only trailer that Marvel gave us. We didn't get one for Secret Invasion, and we've already mentioned the Marvels, because that did get delayed earlier on this week. But Secret Invasion, that's meant to,
was
that's
okay.
meant
So
to be
it's
coming out in
supposed to have
March.
no. Okay, so it started being released apparently at the end of January. Then it was moved to a vague date of early 2023, and now it's been pushed to March. So Marvel, I think there's the telltale signs of the VFX artists saying that we need more time, Marvel giving them a minimal time bump, and then people being sick of their VFX not being finished, and then them giving them a considerable time bump.
Yeah.
I just
That's
don't
it.
know why they don't go back to using more practical stuff.
Yeah,
Like
practical
actually
effects.
using practical
Yeah.
suits, or even using like an actual background instead
Well-
of just like CGIing everything.
Well,
I mean, obviously there's
yeah.
limits to that. You can't CGI most of Guardians 3, but for Secret Invasion, that's on
Well-
Earth.
well,
It's
no,
quite
no.
grounded.
Yeah.
In Captain Marvel and all that, when we see Skrulls, they are usually practical makeup effects with CG on top.
And that was perfect, I think.
And so
But instead, you're getting these actors in like the dotted kind of CGI suits, and then
yeah, mocap.
there's no point. You'd save so much more time and money, and it'd look so much better.
Yeah.
That's true.
Um,
I'm a firm believer, but I do think Marvel is floundering with marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that in that area. However, DC came back swinging. With a controversial lead
Oh,
in the movie, Ezra
Oh,
Miller's The
yeah.
Flash.
Oh, I'm so pissed off with this movie because I don't want to watch it because Ezra Miller's so terrible, but he looks really good. He looks really
They are a
good.
terrible person. I mean, after all the stuff that like we heard about them in Hawaii and their little escapades around the world, it's just like, I mean, I guess it's same with what's her name, Amber Heard and Aquaman, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, it's not really the same, but like you get what I mean. Controversial
Yeah.
figure. You don't want to see the film because of who's in it, but I
mean-
do want to see the film because Keaton's in it.
Yeah, I mean, well, for starters, this movie is based around the comic book Flashpoint, or the Flashpoint Paradox, if you really want to be pretentious about it in DC. And it's only ever been adapted once properly, which was done from a DC animated movie, which if you haven't
It
watched,
was
go
perfect.
ahead and watch
It's
it.
really
It's
good.
perfect. It's been tried to be adapted by the likes of the Flash CW TV show, and it's been touched on and other stuff, but this seems to be one of the closest marks possible to it. It doesn't have everything, and I'm not happy about that, because there's a whole lot more to Flashpoint than just, oh no, Barry's mummy's alive. But It does look absolutely phenomenal, and from what James Gunn has said, it's supposed to be resetting the DC timelines, wiping the slate clean.
I mean, the
So-
best way to do that, I guess, is with the Flash.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
to explain it.
well, yeah. In the comic, after Flashpoint is fixed, because he has to go back and let his mum be killed. Lol. Yeah. There's changes right across the DC timeline. I am a little bit heartbroken. I'm seeing Ben Affleck leave. Wasn't a fan of how his Batman was written, but him as Batman himself, really good. I am a little sad to see Affleck leaving, but
It was okay.
I'm
I didn't care for it, to be honest.
I
but
didn't
think that's
care for
because-
it. I didn't care for
I
it.
didn't care for it. I
It
didn't care for
insists
because
upon itself. Sorry.
Because the films that he was in were awful. I'm really sorry.
Well, no, that's what I
no,
mean.
actually, never mind. Zack Snyder's Justice League cut was chef.
Yes!
no.
Batman vs Superman was awful.
So
I'm really sorry. It
I'm-
was bad.
And like I said, I think how his Batman was written was bad, but as casting
Yeah.
for Batman and acting ability for Batman, I think he's great. Same with Jeremy Irons as Alfred. Jeremy Irons was perfect in my opinion.
I have some thoughts on this trailer. Okay, I want to go through
Okay.
a few things. One, the CGI on the Flash when he's looking at the house at the start of the trailer looks real weird, and that is because they CGI'd out a collar that was on his suit, so it looks real weird.
Yes!
His head looks really
I
weird.
remember this.
Um,
He had a collar to begin with.
Two, I think they missed a really big trick by not having. I know. Yeah, bring back Michael Keaton. That's great, but you cast Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne in this universe, and then you don't have him be Batman for a movie. That's fucking nuts to me.
Yep.
It's
Why not do
upsetting.
that? Why not just
It's
do
crazy.
that? That's crazy.
Well, the thing with Flashpoint is during the Flashpoint timeline, the canonical
Bruce
one,
died.
Bruce is the one that's killed in the alley, and Thomas Wayne takes over as Batman.
Exactly. So that would make sense. Also, this movie was announced back in 2014, was it? Was it all the way back
So,
then?
Ages
just
ago.
long
And,
ago.
Ages ago.
Long ago.
When that happened, the Flash TV show started on the CW that fall, that autumn. The show has had 9 seasons. They've stopped the show, and the final episode will air before this movie comes out.
Do you think it's going to connect?
No.
They've already tried connecting it with the Crisis on Infinite Earths episodes on
Yeah.
that show.
Because it was the CW Flash that gave the name Flash to Ezra Miller's,
Yeah, it was.
wasn't it? It was, wasn't it? Yeah. They met.
They meet and he goes, they.
He's like, "Oh, you're gonna be cool. I'm the Flash," and Ezra's like, "Oh my god, that's so cool."
Yeah.
Also, I think it's fair to say that the second Flash we see, the second Barry Allen from this universe, one was probably meant to be Cyborg originally, but then Warner Brothers had a falling out with Ray Fisher because Joss Whedon's a terrible bloke. And why do I feel like that guy's gonna be evil? Like the bad
No.
Flash? Is that
No,
just me?
he's got no powers. He's just like, "I
No,
love my
he gets
mom."
powers. We
He does
see
get
it
powers,
in the
does he?
trailer.
Oh,
We see it in the
I think I
trailer
missed
them
that.
recreating the accident that gives Barry his powers.
Oh yeah, no, because that did happen in the Paradox.
It does happen in the Paradox, but not with two Barrys. This gets very confusing for those who haven't read this comic or watched
Yeah.
that movie. Right. Moving swiftly on. Again,
Yes.
speed joke. Moving in a flash, we are at Indiana Jones, which got a small trailer, not a big one,
Yes.
small one, but a trailer all the same. And I am frothing at the mouth to see this movie.
It added more than the Transformers one did, so I'm happy.
It added more to my life.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not overly familiar with the Indiana Jones franchise. I have seen
Oh,
Raiders of the Lost
what?
Ark. I have seen Temple of Doom in bits, and I went to the cinema when I was a kid to see Crystal Skull, but I don't remember anything about it.
Xander, you can't see my mic not my mouth, but it is hanging.
Yeah, I know. I believe you. But from the trailers and the cast, I'm kind of excited for this movie. I'll go and see it. I will watch all the others beforehand.
The cast is incredible. It's got Phoebe from Fleabag. The villain from Logan, and also more recently the villain from Sandman. Oh, what a good show!
Oh,
I forget his
Boyd
name.
Holbrook.
Boyd
That was it.
Holbrook.
My
That was
Boyd.
it. I love him.
He is. He gets typecast a lot as a villain, but oh my god, does he play a villain well?
He does.
He does it well.
He is petrifying.
He is. He's real cool. And
gonna be great.
Antonio Banderas, the star of the greatest animated movie from last year, is also in it. As is Big Mads.
Wait.
Big Mads Mikkelsen. Why?
Oh yes.
Why have they made him look like the guy from Raiders? Is that on purpose?
No. It's I don't believe it's purpose. No.
Oh, okay.
Um.
Also, I don't like the title.
No one really likes the title, to my knowledge.
Title's okay.
Dial of Destiny. I do know what the movie's based around, what kind of like legend it's based around.
Oh, I don't.
Which is, do you mind?
Fuck it. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So so this isn't really like a kind of like ancient mystery like Crystal Skulls or the Ark or whatever. The Nazis during like near the end of the war started like going into supernatural stuff and such like that. Hitler really wanted to get spooky, and I said that things I said today.
Spoopy.
But they were planning on making a Mercury engine called Die Glocken. It was supposed to be a UFO of sorts. It was a anti-gravity engine. Now, there were talks of it having a successful test flight, and there were talks about weird shit happening when that thing had a test flight, such as like vanishing people. But nothing's ever confirmed, plus it's like crazy Nazis.
I thought you were gonna say that this is gonna be like a Nazi Ghostbusters, like for a split second.
Oh,
when
good
you started
God, no.
Talking about spooky, and I was like, oh, let's go.
I'd watch that. But everyone on the project seemingly has vanished, and is theorized that they got inhaled by NASA in Operation Paperclip. The movie is apparently going to involve a whole lot of time travel.
Time travel.
Yeah. Now, from what I know, there's been script leaks, and if the leak is true, I know the ending for the movie.
Oh, aren't you clever?
And I
Look
can't
at me,
say
I'm Hamish. I know the ending to Indiana Jones 5.
I can't say I'm a fan of it.
Well, actually, I know the ending to Avengers Endgame, so I win.
All right,
Shut
Xander.
up.
Can we all be more like you?
For some reason, you started talking, and I got thinking about the Philadelphia experiment and why we haven't had a really good movie about that.
What's the Philadelphia experiment?
I don't know, but
What?
it's like a paranormal thing. It's like this. So, it's an alleged event claimed to have been witnessed by ex-merchant mariner. I don't care.
I know this.
The U.S. Navy's Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. It described as an experiment where the U.S. Navy attempted to make a destroyer escort class ship disappear, and the bizarre results that followed.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Yeah, it's like a paranormal idea that this ship just sort of disappeared.
The idea was that the ship was using like effectively experimental cloaking tech. So like how I believe it's Swedish forces line their tanks with reflective panels so light effectively bends around them, which is real. But the idea was effectively to use radar. I see your face, Sandra. It was effectively use radars to bend light. And the whole idea was that the ship vanished and reappeared at some later point.
Cool.
But
Hey, it
nothing's
worked.
ever
It
confirmed.
worked.
Yo, why
Well
don't we
done.
have a movie about? Why isn't Indiana Jones trying to find the Philadelphia experiment? Why? And
That's very
and
true.
the Philadelphia penis. I
Cheesesteak.
can't think of any other P's. I'm sorry.
Indiana Jones and the Quest for Philadelphia.
The quest for Philadelphia. He's just eating cream
Philadelphia's
cheese.
gone. Philadelphia's just gone.
Philadelphia has vanished. We need to find it, guys.
Just bumps into Charlie Day. He's
alrighty,
like, I don't know
so
who it is,
finishing-
man. That's my Charlie Day impression. That was my Charlie Day impression.
So from punching Nazis with Indiana Jones to punching Nazis in another movie.
Oh my god.
I believe I'm pronouncing this right. Sisu. I'm really hoping I'm pronouncing that right.
I think you
Looks
are, yeah.
bloody brilliant.
Yeah,
looks
I'd never
amazing.
heard of this movie before, and then you sent me
The
the
trailer just dropped.
What, just now?
Well, no, like a few, I believe it's like days ago. The trailer just dropped.
Oh right, okay.
But
I thought we were doing the big game trailers.
well, I know, but this is like fresh news. This is hot news, hot off the press.
Hot off the presses. Wow. Ouch.
You can't not
Ouch.
talk
It's
about
so
this trailer.
hot, this news. It burnt my finger.
Okay.
Get me some burn cream.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, this movie looks absolutely excellent. It is a guy killing Nazis.
It reminds me of Prey for some reason. I think it's just because of the setting.
Yeah, it's very, very kind of organic, wide, natural expanses. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just reminds me of Prey, and Prey was incredible, so I'm excited for this film anyway.
It looks.
I just
It looks like 1917.
Yeah.
It-
So it's not. No. But they talk about Nazis.
Yeah, I know, but like it looked like it's in like the trenches and stuff like that. It has that.
Oh,
kind of...
you meant the film. I thought you meant the year. I haven't seen that film yet.
Xander can look at any movie and go, I know the exact historical period.
It's a,
Oh,
it's
look, I'm
Finnish.
Xander. It looks like 1917.
It's a Finnish movie as well, which really threw me off because I could tell that nobody was talking in the trailer because it's all like everyone speaks in English. I'm like, they're not speaking English. They're definitely
They are not.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I think this looks really cool, and the turn the trailer takes in a single moment was really great, and I'm sure the movie will do that turn exquisitely well. It's had some early releases elsewhere, and it's actually already got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
That's
man.
not a shock.
Ooh.
That's not. I'm not surprised by that just because of the trailer.
So yeah, I think this is one to look out for throughout the year, and that may we may rediscuss it when we do our best of 2023 at the end of the year.
Excellent.
You
Or
should.
maybe even when it comes out.
Feisty
Reggie.
I'm not Joe. I can't do the cool voices.
Brian.
You need Joe back
Wait,
for
what
that.
was Joe trying to do last
Brian.
night? Hello there. Hello there, Peter. That was his Brian impression. What were you doing?
What?
Hello there,
Trying to
Peter.
be Seth MacFarlane. Is that his name? Yeah.
Well, yeah, that looks like that was all of the big games. So unfortunately, Alex, you haven't seen the Quantumania, have you?
I wasn't planning on it. I was
Alex,
going to
you're
last
not
Friday,
even a
but
quantum maniac.
I didn't want to see it.
You-
I didn't want to see it.
Oh well, you were
I've
you
seen
were
this-
probably correct to not do that.
I saw the screen caps
we're
of
gonna
Modok. I wasn't gonna see that. It looks like they butchered him. I'm not gonna go watch it.
He does look as bad as it looks in the trailer. But that's for discussion.
That's for discussion in a little bit. Like, so let's
Talk with
send
Joe.
everyone back. Alex, thank you very much for running down this trailer with us. This was great fun. You should come back again and do an actual episode with us and not be a little
Oh my god.
pussy bitch about it.
I'm not. What?
Maybe if you watch the movie next time, you know, if you prep.
I'll watch
Maybe
the
if
movie
you
if
prep,
it's
you can actually
good.
join in.
Prep. Okay.
But tell the people where they can find you.
Noah, I don't have a social media presence really.
You have a Twitter.
Oh, let's not go to my Twitter.
No.
Let's not go to my Twitter.
Where you can find Alex around. I think if you say their name 3 times in the mirror, they'll appear behind you
Yeah.
and scare you.
And then talk about the Batman 2020 because it's still Batman.
Thank you
This is
very
so
much
fun.
for coming on. And Hamish,
Thank
shall we hop back with Joe?
Shall we? Ooh,
Let's do a
I feel
little-
I'm being sucked towards
Oh,
Joe.
oh, I'm being
Whoa.
sucked off by Joe. Sorry, that was.
Oh, ooh.
Right, let's head back to him.
All right.
Oh, back. Where did Alex go? Joe, you're back. That's crazy.
Where?
Joe. So the timeline where we've restored the timeline, Joe. Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
What happened?
I ran real fast. I did a flash.
You know what? No, I'm not going to even try to.
I stole all the crumpets while you were gone, so.
It
Oh,
seems so
man.
bad. See, guys, this is what top tier podcasting is all about. Just doing us silly.
Well, it's not podcasting. It was real. It happened. We got sucked away into a different. Damn you, Dander.
Oh, Joe, I told everyone that you sucked me off. Right, let's move on to the main topic for this week's podcast, which is, of course, the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Oh, if you see the trailer, you know what happens. This is the newest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is the third in the somehow trilogy of Ant-Man films that we've gotten.
Is it really the third? Because, I mean, by name, it's Ant-Man and the Wasp, so technically it's a sequel to the Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Ant-Man's on its own. I'm going to nitpick because I know it winds
I have
you up.
complaints about that. I have complaints.
I do too. We'll get there.
Yes, the movie is worthy of complaints. It's been quite divisive thus far. It is sat at the lowest Rotten Tomatoes score of any Marvel Cinematic Universe outing at 48%. It joins Eternals on the same score. Although it does have an 84% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, but you know that's not really much. And 6.6 on IMDb. So I think people are sort of, they're sort of waning on this franchise. They're sort of seeing the cracks now, and I think this one, it's just fine. I think if it wasn't for this podcast right now, I don't think I'd have felt it necessary to go and see this. What do you guys think about that?
I described it to Joe, because Joe saw it on opening night. I didn't. I described this movie as, whilst Ant-Man and the Wasp is like something you watch on a rainy day to catch up on the MCU if you haven't seen it, this movie I would go to see. I wouldn't pay to see it, but I'd go and see it on a streaming service. I'd do it from the comfort of my own home. I'd enjoy watching it, but...
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel like a necessary watch.
No, it does. From what it sets up, it feels like a necessary. It's like a hike. You've kind of got to do the hike, and you get that little bit of endorphins at the end. But you know, it's a little bit less enjoyable than it should be.
I think I enjoyed it. I think I definitely enjoyed it more than you, Xander.
That's apparent.
I think.
How can you tell?
I think I expected more from it. There were points where I'm like, just push it a bit further, please. And I think that I definitely had fun with it. And it's specific aspects, especially, which I can't mention yet, but I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best, but it was. This makes it sound bad. It was watchable. And I'm glad I watched it, and I do want to go see it again. So, I'm warming to it as I think about it more.
Why?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you? What do you mean you want to go see it again?
I would see it again.
What did you think you missed? What did you think you missed? It's not like Endgame where there's like the plot's quite big and you might have spotted something in the corner. There's nothing to miss here. It's so.
I have a theory about this movie. One of the big motivators for one of the characters was rewritten, and we kind of get hints of it in the trailer. And I want to go rewatch it with Joe so we can both sit down and like try and piece together bits of the story that should have been.
I've put in the notes that I sent to you guys when we were talking about this that I think we could rewrite this movie, and I think I know what you're talking about. So I want to come back to that later. We'll do that in the spoiler section. But for now, let's talk. Oh, sorry, Joe, you've got something.
On the mention of trailers, again, not going into details, but I didn't watch the second trailer. I've stopped doing that now. But from someone who did watch it, they said most of the last portion of the film, that's all in the trailer. There's no surprises, so I'm glad I didn't watch it. But after watching the trailer after I saw the film, come on, Marvel, stop spoiling your film. Stop doing a Sony. Stop it.
Yeah,
Sony
it's
put
rough.
no. Sony's worse because they put the end credit scene in the goddamn
And the
trailer.
last shot.
Yeah, they do, don't they? It's got something to do with Spider-Man, I think.
Don't you dare invoke the name that begins with an M. Don't you dare.
Michael!
Keaton!
Mine.
Sorry.
My name is
I
Dr.
didn't even intend
Michael
that. I was doing an
Morbius.
Office reference.
Alright. Yeah, we'll talk non-spoilers for now, and then we'll head into the spoiler section a little bit later.
Out of 10, Xander, what are you giving it?
I don't like giving numbers anymore, guys. I told you.
Boo.
I don't like giving numbers anymore
Boo.
because I'm
But
pretentious.
if you had to though, Xander.
If I had
a gun to you right now.
if you had to, it'd be something like maybe a 4.
Ooh.
Maybe a 4. on a second watch, maybe a 3.
I would give it, and Xander's gonna froth at the mouth at this. I think 6 is too low, but 7's too high. I want to give it a nice mediocre 6.5 because Black Panther 2, great tribute, absolutely beautiful tribute to Chadwick Boseman. But it was a bit shit.
Do you mean Oscar nominee Black Panther Wakanda Forever? It's a bit
Angela
shit.
Bassett did the thing, you know.
It was a bit crap.
A bit long.
A bit long as well.
bit.
It definitely felt like Wakanda Forever.
And it really... Oh, I see what you did there. That was nice.
You-
And it also felt like Namor carried that movie. That's why I was in that seat.
I fell asleep. That's how I feel about that one.
And
From
and
Wakanda
that's
or
a-
Ant-Man?
Yes.
Oh.
But I would rate. I wouldn't give Wakanda Forever a 6 or a 6.5. I would give it a solid 4. I would give Eternals a 5, and that's where and then I'd rank Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania above that.
Tell you what, let me get my letterboxd up because I have ranked all these before. Let me see where a 4.
Oh, look at me! I have a letterboxd. My name's Xander. Oh. I have a letterboxd too. I can't say anything.
One.
Actually,
I have a
Hamish, you're the
letterboxd.
only one here who doesn't have Letterboxd. So.
No, I do.
Why don't you have
Oh,
a
really?
letterboxd, bro?
I do have a letterboxd. Thank you very much. I got followed by Mark Kermode on Letterboxd. Thank you.
Yes, of course. I remember
Oh,
that.
yeah! Suck a dick!
Why won't this advert go away? I don't want Avast free antivirus.
Sponsored by Avast Free Antivirus.
Okay, where would... Oh my god, Shang-Chi's like my number 4 in this.
Where would
Okay,
I go for someone that gives a shit about Xander's letterbox? Where would I go to find that?
Yeah, the audience have just dropped off Xander.
Yeah.
Right, okay, a 4 would put it down alongside Thor, Original Thor, and Iron Man 2.
The original 4's good. That's a 7
Iron Man
easily.
2's good!
Iron Man 2 is not good, Hamish.
Iron Man
would put
1
it,
is
It
pooey.
would put it below Black Widow.
My board.
My broad.
It would put it below Black Widow.
What?
I need to reshuffle this, I think I need to have a
I need
rethink
to
on this.
relist it.
I do as well. Because also there's TV shows in here, and some of those are much higher than they should be. For some reason, Moon Knight is above Doctor Strange and Civil War. I'm not sure about that one.
I think the first
well,
Ant-Man's
it's
above
coming
No
up.
Way Home on my
I
list.
must have really liked that when it came out. Anyway, I have a lot of problems with this movie. But one problem I don't have
Wait, I want to rate it.
is... Oh shit, sorry.
Yeah! Think of little Joseph
Whoa,
Cook!
whoa,
How
whoa,
dare
Oh, well,
you!
I forgot how we got there. Sorry, Joe.
Boo.
Spin your eye for
I
that.
was saying boo words. I'd give it... I think along the same lines as Hamish. I did give it a 6 on my letterbox originally, but I've kind of warmed to it. But I still don't think it's a 7, so a 6.5.
You know what? I think that's
yeah.
a fair score. I will not begrudge you guys for having that score.
So you're saying you're wrong.
Well, you
Yes.
are wrong. You guys are wrong.
Yes, you are, Sander.
Overwhelming opinion. Sorry, you're wrong.
God damn it. So, there are lots of problems with the movie. Everyone can sort of discuss those. We'll get to those later. One problem the movie doesn't have is it has a pretty good villain in Jonathan Majors Kang. The performance is really cool. I
Kang
think
is fantastic.
Yeah, he's quite quiet in that scary way. Like,
He's
was
subtle.
it you I was talking to about this, Hamish? Where you're like, he's
imposing.
He's imposing, isn't he? Yeah, that's it.
Most Marvel villains are like. Some of them can be good villains, but a lot of the time they're like, you have mildly inconvenienced me. Suffer my wrath.
Well, like Malakith.
Ooh, yeah.
Malakith from Malakith.
There's Malakath.
I was going to say, it's not even Keith.
No, Queef.
I heard you say Queef, Joe.
Oh.
I know that was the joke, but then afterwards you said Malakith.
But I do think they've set Kang up as threatening a villain, or on the same general wavelength as Thanos, because that's what he's being built to be. And look, okay, our first look at Thanos was him sitting in a porta potty, okay, a floating porta potty.
He looked good doing it,
nowhere.
though.
No, he really didn't. If
It
you
wasn't
look
even
back
Josh.
and rewatch
He looked good
it,
on
his
Wasn't even
potty.
Josh Brolin. Wasn't
He's
even
kind
Josh
of
Brolin.
red as well. It's not great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took a while to build him up, but I think Quantumania did him service in showing him.
I think for a movie called Quantumania, I don't think it's silly enough.
Yes, I think the one element of this is this what MODOK's in this, isn't he? The one
He is. We see him in the trailers.
He's the silly bit of the film. I would have
He
liked
is.
more of that. Like
You know what? I kind of agree.
the darker
don't.
bits, push them with Kang. Push those a bit more. Actually, you don't really need Kang in this film. I would have been okay for this to be Ant-Man and MODOK in the quantum realm.
This doesn't feel. This isn't an Ant-Man movie. This is
It
a
doesn't have
Kang
the same
movie.
charm.
This is a Kang movie that they've just slapped Ant-Man into. You
Yeah.
could switch out Ant-Man and the core characters for any other superhero group that we've seen from the MCU, and this movie would be the exact same.
I disagree.
He didn't need to. Oh wait, no, that's a spoiler. I can't say that.
I disagree. Ant-Man's whole gimmick is being in the quantum realm. And being
Change
able
the
to
setting from the quantum realm to space.
Okay,
He's
okay.
He's stuck in a space place. The force field won't let him out. Whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Can't get out,
But-
so he needs someone's help. Same.
Apply
movie.
that to like Captain America: Winter Soldier. Bucky is suddenly in the hands of Hammer Industries. As soon as you begin like just changing entire settings and plugging new characters in, it reworks the plot.
Anyone could be sucked into the quantum realm. Just because Ant-Man is like small, he's wee.
No,
Just because he's wee.
His whole thing is Hank Pym in the quantum realm. And
I think my big
don't know if it
issue.
would've worked.
My big issue with the film is I really like Ant-Man 1 and Ant-Man 2. I think Ant-Man 1 I rank above No Way Home. But the thing that appeals to me from those is the characters and the small scale. And not only was this bigger in scale, but because of that there was less time to focus on the characters. I mean, character stuff, not too much. And also, for a film called Ant-Man and the Wasp, where was Wasp in this film?
No.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
She was not here.
Let's not get too heavily into who does what in the film. But what
Yeah.
I think what we can all agree and say is this should be Ant-Man Quantumania, not Ant-Man and the Wasp.
You didn't even need the Wasp in this, I don't think.
Yeah, she
Probably
doesn't do
not.
much.
I think of the people that are trying in this movie, I think that Michelle Pfeiffer's kind of cool. I think she's fine in it. She does a passable job.
I think she does a good job, but in the movie she's very annoying.
Yes. Who else?
I quite liked Hank Pym, even, you know, I thought he
I
was
think
alright.
it's so clear that Michael Douglas wanted to be killed off in the first Ant-Man movie. Because he just gives zero fucks. He does not care about these movies.
No,
He's just there for a paycheck.
I think he maybe had a bit of fun on this one.
I listened to an interview where he was talking about how he was fascinated by, like, after each take he'd go up to the people on set, because they were using the big LED screen with this. He'd go up to them and just ask them about the process and that. So he is invested, certainly.
In
And
the technology, not in the characters.
I...
And also, while we're talking about the technology, movie kind of looks like ass.
No.
It's
Movie
definitely
kinda-
better
Movie
CG
kind of
than...
looks like ass.
It's better
And
CG
look-
than recently. I mean, No Way Home is atrocious. But this was...
Wakanda
alright,
Forever is abysmal.
Oh, Go Power Rangers.
Go Power Rangers. I can't get past Wakanda Forever because you can tell where all the budget went, and it's in the underwater scenes. And you know what? In this movie, I don't mind it. I think they did a good enough job. Every CG could do with more time. Every CG can do with more time.
I think considering that basically the whole film has a CG environment, I think it's done a good job. It's consistent. that's one
Agreed.
good thing.
Just
Agreed.
consistently shit.
Yeah, it insists upon itself.
It has its
Um,
dips. It has its dips, but what I will say is it's an improvement, and I'm
Yeah.
okay with that improvement.
Yes, compared to other Ant-Man films. I did a rewatch the past couple of days. I watched Ant-Man 1 and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I'm sorry.
Don't
Good films.
because Ant-Man
2 is a
1,
bit crap.
Ant-Man 1, I have a newfound
Peak.
appreciation for because it
It's
was always
peak.
sort of
One's
mid.
excellent.
It was always sort of middle road for me, and you know what? I kind of like it. Looking back, it
is
feels like
nice.
such a simpler time, and the worst bits about it are the bits that interconnect with the MCU.
It's Iron Man 1, but better.
I don't think it's not Iron Man 1.
It's the
I
plot
don't
of
think
Iron
it's
Man 1,
anything
but
like
better.
that. I think the villain is Ant-Man 1. It is Iron Man 1. But I think the rest of the movie's very different. Yeah, no, it feels like the movie's got such a charm to it and a character. And it feels like, doesn't feel like a Marvel movie. It's a heist movie that they happen to have a superhero in. And I think the action's really great, and all the scenes when he's shrinking, you feel like he's tiny. The environments look great. I think that movie works really well, and I'm gonna have to do an MCU reshuffle and move some things around because that movie's really good. I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp. Unnecessary, absolutely. Doesn't look great, but tell you what, it's a far better Ant-Man movie than this is.
I like
Because
Ant-Man
when-
the Wasp. It's fun.
Because everything in there is like the plot revolves specifically around things getting big and small, and the action sequences. Sure, they were all in the trailer, really great. That final car chase sequence in Ant-Man and the Wasp is actually really good. Maybe I've got Stockholm syndrome. I've just been watching too much crap Marvel recently that all the old ones I'm like, wow, it was such a simpler time when I could moan about this one not being
For the
important.
Dark World,
Nostalgia.
it's beautiful.
I
syndrome.
got nostalgia for Ant-Man and the Wasp. How the fuck has that happened?
I don't like the second one.
No, me neither. I don't think it's great, but I think it's got more fun in it than this one does. I would rather
disagree.
sit and watch Ant-Man and the Wasp again, even though I just watched it this morning, than watch Quantumania again.
I think, yeah, the main difference between the first two and this one is that those were clearly Ant-Man films.
Yeah.
This one is Kang and the Quantum Realm mixed in with... Oh, yeah, Ant-Man's here as well.
Yeah.
It's just surprising how little screen time the main characters get.
Peyton Reed, he's on record as saying that he went to Kevin Feige after the first two Ant-Man films and said, I want an Avengers-level movie. And for some reason, they gave it to him, and this is what it is. And
They did this with Multiverse of Madness as well, though, because the writer was like, I don't want Wanda to turn evil in another film. I want it in my film. And look how that turned out.
yeah, no, it's clearly going to be an important movie for the MCU going forward with Kang because, he's
What it
gonna,
sets up.
he's going to be the big bad of the MCU going forward. But I just think the idea of me having to if I'm like doing a big rewatch before the Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars comes out, and I have to watch this again, I'm like, really, sure, really.
You know what, Xander? It's okay. You can just close your eyes and go and watch TikToks.
Yeah.
Like the girls
and
in your
go on
cinema.
Snapchat, you know?
Fantastic. That was great banter, guys. Thank you for that. Is there anything else we want to say before we get into spoilers? And before we try and rewrite this movie?
Well, should you see it, I think, is a big one.
Yeah, should you see it in the cinema? Should you go out and
Yes.
pay the money to
Yes.
go and see this?
Yes.
Yeah,
You should pay to read. No?
Oh, okay. Whilst I said earlier that I would see it, I wouldn't pay to see it in the cinema. I would see it in the streaming service. That is after my initial cinema experience. I think seeing something in the cinema with the surround sound, the seats, the big booming sounds and stuff. Yes, I think that adds to it, but I don't need to go see it a second time like that.
I get what you mean, but I feel like you could say that about any movie. I think you should see every movie you can at the cinema. But I think for people who are like choosing whether to go see this or say Creed 3 next week, do you go and spend your money on this, or do you wait another week and go and see that? Go and see something else. Because I'd say save your money on this one. Nothing really massive is game changing to the MCU. All the post credits are on the internet if you're desperate to see them. I don't think this is a overly necessary one to go out of your way and see this weekend at the cinema.
As an extra note, the soundtrack was alright. I like Kang's theme. It's sort of like the Jaws da. I liked that. That was cool. And then
Wasn't the soundtrack really horny?
yeah, there's 50 Shades of Kang.
What?
Kang Bang.
What?
It's great.
What?
Yeah, go through the track list. There's some nice sensual tracks in there.
I maybe don't want to hear this.
Yeah, so there's Kang Bang. Where else was it? 50 Shades of Kang. Wait, they got rid of some, didn't they? Oh, there's one called He's Kang, He Saw, He Conquered. That's great banter. This is exactly where all the jokes should be from the movie, in the soundtrack list. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on.
Spoiler time?
Let's do some spoilers. Okay, so if you haven't seen the movie, blah, 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 don't listen forward. But if you have, then we're going to enter the spoiler section.
This
Now.
is your spoiler warning.
I'm going to insert the original spoiler warning. Do you know what that is?
What?
Spoilers. Spoilers. I just played it. Thank you so much for that
beautiful.
banging edit. That was such a banging edit choice, bro. Thank you so much for that one. That was a gift.
I was amazed by it.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Spoiler talk.
Janet Van Dyne is the most useless fucking character on the planet, and I
She
just
hol-
want. She holds up the entire plot. She's the reason Kang is still a threat, and quite frankly, she fucking infuriates me.
She holds information for a good hour in that film.
Yeah, and also, she what happened to her powers from Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Oh, her healing.
She had powers at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, and she said the quantum realm changes you, and there was no discussion of that in this movie.
Also,
That's
how
very true.
how are they like? Because they brought it up when they went down there, like, oh, we shouldn't be able to be down here. And then, do they explain how they can?
It's because the suck portal. The quantum radio, where the fuck they build, opens a portal. They got sucked through the portal.
No, I mean, like, how can they survive down there?
Because everyone else is.
No, but when
Yeah,
Hank
they did for years.
Pym Hank Pym first went down there, he was like sort of juddering.
You know what? I'm not going to make excuses for it. I can confirm. Don't fucking know.
If I can give a vote for best scene in the movie, it is the scene in which the hundreds of Ant-Men
Oh, that was good.
like try and get the energy core or whatever. Best scene in the movie. Genuinely a good scene.
It was brilliant.
It then ends with them all trying to get him up,
Like with all the ants in the first one.
Yeah, really good scene.
That was cool. All right, so Janet's really annoying. I'm not done on Janet. Janet could have told anyone. Janet said, "I didn't tell you because I want to protect you," which is the most bullshit fucking excuse in every movie.
All 3 of the Ant-Man movies have that line of dialogue. I didn't tell you to protect you. That is one of my least favourite movie traits at the moment. Characters saying, "I didn't tell you this huge piece of information to protect you." What the fuck does that even mean?
No, but like... sorry. But like, in this case, it is a universe, like, killing machine of a man. And she's like, "Yeah, but I don't know. Might just keep that one under lock and key." If you tell me that Kang the Conqueror, a man that disintegrates entire universes, is vibing somewhere so small, I assume is on my fucking iPhone, I'm gonna do everything to stop that man getting out. I'm gonna like prepare. I'm gonna do everything in my power to, get around that. I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, down I fucking go." Gonna go pay him a visit. It's stupidity. It's lazy writing.
Janet definitely got with Kang as well.
Oh yeah, there's no way that didn't happen.
Yeah.
They were like the way they look at each other when they're sitting down in one scene.
Yeah, they boned.
Changaloid.
And so did Bill Murray, who's
They
not in this film a lot.
Bill Murray's in it for 10 minutes. Not even 10.
I think I did like him. He didn't overstay his welcome. But I was expecting one of the post-credit scenes to be him like getting up from the ground, like similar to the Grand Master in Full Ragnarok, just to see that he's okay. Yeah. But no, he was just thrown and never seen again. But I did like him.
Yeah, no, it was fine in the scene he was in.
He played Bill Murray.
Did just play Bill Murray.
That's every film with him, though, isn't it?
That's true.
I want to take this opportunity because you guys mentioned slightly earlier on that you think that you knew what this movie was going to be like, and then it wasn't, and you felt like there was a bit of a rewrite.
Yeah.
Please tell me what your thought is.
So it's implied throughout the trailer that because Kang initially, right, makes the deal with Janet that he can make it so Janet never left.
Yeah.
Right? That's the implication.
And sorry.
It seems that his whole the vibe everyone got was that he makes deals with people to kind of give them time back on their regrets. And the trailer speaks about how Scott wants more time with his kid. It's like heavily implied he's missed all these years. And then it's never mentioned in the movie. And then at the end, Scott is like charging the Citadel and is so pissed. I brought this up to you, Joe, because this caught you off guard as well. He is furious at Kang and yelling, "We had a deal. You're only as good as your word." He's like furious as if like Kang has backstabbed him, but he hasn't.
Yeah.
So what's the fucking deal?
Yeah, no, I that is exactly what I think would make a better movie if he says to him, "I can give you time back with your daughter. I can make it so that 5 years you were there with her, and so she grows up with you and becomes a better person." And all that, like, because at the start we see she's in prison just like her dad, and we want to make her better, and that the movie just never goes there. And it's like, I feel like that's a huge missed opportunity. So then at the end he's like, "No, like the choices have been made. But I want her to live now and me to stay there." Also, I heard they got stuck in the quantum realm at the end, like Ant-Man and the Wasp both got stuck in the quantum realm, and then the movie like looked like it was about to end, and then the portal just reopened again. It's like, hang on, didn't Kang die and close the portal? Wasn't that like
So-
what killed him?
There were reshoots a couple of months ago of that final scene. So it wasn't originally meant to be there. It was meant to end with them stuck in the quantum realm. That is definitely how it was meant to end. And you can also tell because Hope has a different haircut in the restaurant scene.
Yeah.
It's just because I watched it and they get trapped in the quantum realm and I was expecting okay that's how it ends, and then oh wait they've just pressed the button and found them straight away. There were no stakes here. That's another thing. There's not really many stakes in this film. No one dies. I expected Hank Pym to die. I think a lot of people did, and everyone's fine by the end of the film. The only one that isn't is Kang.
I wanted to see Janet die.
I mean,
Or at
that would've
least- At least someone important. Like, you need... This guy's come in, he's like, yeah, I'm the big bad of the MCU. Marvel are hyping him up and all this. And then he comes in and he just ends up becoming another villain, doesn't he? Like, the performance is great. And, like, it's exciting going forward because we know there's more of him out there. But, like, this version of Kang, they say he's dead. Ant-Man killed him. Ant-Man.
Yeah. Well, we don't know he's dead though, do we? Because
The guys in the post-credit scene, they say, yeah, he's dead. I'm gutted
Oh,
that
did
we
they?
didn't kill him. They
Yeah.
said,
Oh.
they said he's dead.
oh what?
That he's
no.
dead.
Because you've
He's
had all
dead.
that development of that one. You're like, oh no, we're just going to start over with another Kang. What's the point in that?
My thought for this Kang before I knew he died was that they say they don't know who sabotaged his ship. So my thought process was that he gets out into the real world in Quantumania. This was my prediction at the start of the movie. Gets out, blah 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 blah. Kang Dynasty, whatever the fuck happens, and then at the end of that timeline, at the end of those movies, the Avengers fuck with his ship and banish him to the quantum realm, so he's caught in a loop. And I thought that would have been a really cool idea.
Yeah, that'd have been really cool.
That's
But no,
why
it's
he's
just-
like, I know how it ends.
But no,
Because
it's-
he's relived it and he's stuck in it.
But no, he's just dead.
He's just fucking dead.
Can we talk about MODOK?
I liked him.
I also kind of liked him.
I laughed at him when he first came up because I didn't see what he looked like before the film, so that was a genuine surprise. And yes, he looks like the guy from Shark Boy and Lava Girl, yes. But like, is MODOK genuinely a bad guy we're meant to take seriously in general? Because I really enjoyed him. I wouldn't have minded if the film was just Ant-Man in the Quantum Realm versus MODOK. I would have loved that.
I do think MODOK should have been the main villain, but I think he's wasted.
I think my only criticism with him is that his death was treated like a joke. Like, I like the Avenger line, that was funny, but, he was frothing at the mouth, like, almost over the top to get laughs, and, he's literally just sacrificed himself, and it's treated like a joke. I would have taken that bit seriously, but the rest of him I thought was great. I mean, seeing his little ass, that took me off guard. I mean, we saw Hulk's ass.
Dropped, guys.
We saw Hulk's ass in Ragnarok, so
Yeah.
a little bit of cheekage doesn't hurt, And it reminded me of the Minions. I don't know if that's good, but I liked him. I liked him.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about MODOK. I really wanted him to be, more than he was. Again, that's me being biased because I read the comics and I snort them. Pretty much, I live by them.
Sorry.
I snort the comics. You know what I mean? I live by those comics when it comes to these movies, so I'm gonna be a little biased in this one, and say is such a wasted opportunity for MODOK. I think, could they cram the word dick into a conversation any more than they did?
Can we talk about that scene? Because this scene has been going viral on Twitter and TikTok, and people have been laughing at it for a few reasons. For one, because it's a silly conversation, and two, because the CG on Catherine Newton is awful, and also her line delivery
I
is
do not
awful.
like Catherine Newton in this film.
No, she's not a great character. Like the
I think
character's
she.
not great.
I've heard she's a great actor, and I haven't seen her. I've seen her in Detective Pikachu, but that's it. But it should have been the same actor from Endgame. She was great in that one scene.
Yeah, why not?
The amount of times she shouted "Daddy" and made lots of noises, and it just didn't. I didn't believe her bond with Scott. Like, there was one scene that really cringed me out. When they've both grown to like giant form, and they're running in slow motion. I had no idea they were actually large. So to me, it felt like they were just running in slow motion.
They're talking. They're saying like, "Oh, I feel like I'm hugging Godzilla." There is nothing around them because it's just a wasteland around them. There is nothing to imply that they're massive.
Yeah.
There are no other people around in the scene to imply that they're huge.
This is one of the charming bits about Ant-Man 1 and Ant-Man 2 is that because it's in a contemporary setting, you've got the scale of normal buildings and that in the quantum realm. How do you know that he's giant? In that scene, I had no clue. I just thought it was, I love you. I thought it was like one of those cheesy, it took me right to the end to figure that out. So that was just unclear. But I didn't like Cassie in this film, which is annoying because I really liked her in the first two. She was great.
Yeah.
For a kid actress as well, she was really good in the first two.
And her running in that first bit, as Hamish said, it looked like stop motion.
Yeah, when you first see her in the suit, because you feel a little bit of a build because she doesn't put the suit on for a while, and you're like, "Ooh, we're gonna get like an introduction." No. And when we first see her in the suit when she's small, it is really janky CG. It is not great. Like I said earlier, this movie has its dips, and very unfortunately, a debut of a new character, the stature, for all things for all names intended or purpose. I'm missing my words today. It was really pathetic.
I don't like the costumes. I think they shouldn't. I don't know why they've changed them since the first Ant-Man. The suit in the first Ant-Man film is really cool. I think it looks really great. And also, why now can they go big and go small without helmets on? I thought the whole point was that you had to have your helmet on to use this.
Yeah.
But now,
Wait, when did that happen?
I mean, no. To be fair,
Oh, no, that's a good point.
No, they do. It is hinted towards in Endgame, whenever they go to Hank Pym's original lab and you see the original Ant-Man helmet on a table, because it has no like visor or anything. It is just the bog standard original Ant-Man helmet, which has just a big hole in the face and holes for the eyes. So,
but that was the very first helmet, though.
It's also just in the. Having rewatched the first Ant-Man yesterday, there is a scene where he's in the back of a police car. He's got his hands tied up, and he can't go small unless he has the helmet on, and he has to cram his head into the helmet at a weird angle to get it on, so that then he can go small.
Speaking of the helmet, can they stop going like that to put the helmet on?
Yeah, I'm a fan of when helmets in movies are solid.
Yeah.
For Iron Man, it makes sense that it comes out of the suit.
Stop
but
with the
everyone else
nanotech,
having
please.
nanotech, no, please stop.
Stop it. Physical
Even
costumes,
Thor.
please.
Even Thor's helmet comes on and off. Like, why? Because it's just lazy, like on set. So then just like, just put a CGI hat on them.
Yeah,
like, it's just it doesn't make it feel real and tangible.
With Ant-Man, I can give it a pass that maybe the technology has advanced to the point that they've figured out a way to make them be able to breathe. I give them that purely for the fact that right through Marvel's comics, the helmet's optional. Stature, Cassie in the comics, for all intents and purposes, that's what I was trying to say earlier. She doesn't have a helmet. She just wears a domino mask.
But this wasn't mentioned in the film. That's the problem. It wasn't. They didn't say we don't need the helmet.
But to be fair, in between Ant-Man 1 and 2, they have the helmet come out of the suit, and then in Ant-Man 3, it's just straight up nano shit.
No, I mean about the how they just don't need it.
Yeah, but if the technology's progressing, I don't know. It's Marvel.
And another thing, Luis wasn't in this film, but the Baba Yaga boy was. He was Jelly Boy.
Yeah, well, I noticed that after the fact. I was going through the cast list on IMDb, and I was like, hang on, he's in this, the guy from The Dark Knight, the Polka Dot Man. But yeah, no, he was in this as a different character. But yeah, no, they were a big miss. That those three guys, they're his friends.
The ex-cons.
Yeah,
I mean, we got Jimmy Woo at the beginning.
We saw Jimmy Woo at the beginning.
I'm glad that they're friends. I really am glad that they're friends.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of thing we need on Disney Plus. I don't want like a secret invasion thing. I want a Jimmy Woo X-Files show. That's what I want.
That would be good.
That would be great. But no, unfortunately not. I'm not sure what else we can really say about this movie. I think it was a huge disappointment. The post-credit scenes, what do we think about those?
The thing is, I don't like to say this, but I'm not totally invested by Kang at the moment. Seeing loads of him, I was like, ugh, okay, cool, I guess. It was the one with Loki at the end that got me, because also I didn't used to think this, but I like the historical setting, and I think Marvel should do it more. It's just cool seeing Loki and Mobius in the audience. In that, is it Edwardian sort of Thomas Edison,
like Victorian style, yeah.
I'm excited
really,
for that.
Like oldish, but yeah.
And
I absolutely agree.
And I think because of that, how they're delaying stuff. I think Loki will be next instead of Secret Invasion. I think that makes sense to release that series first.
I think, I absolutely agree. I think the best episode of Loki season 1 was the second episode where they're going through different time periods and trying to track down the other variant. I think that's a really great episode of that show.
Yeah.
So seeing
that was great.
Seeing them doing actual more history stuff in the next season, using that time travel idea and doing more with it this season. Yeah, great stuff. Loki's S tier Marvel TV. So I'm looking forward to the second season.
Apart from Sylvie, she's
don't get me started. Don't go there.
Yeah, I think in terms of rewriting this movie, I think we just, you give more for people to do. Like, what does the Wasp? The Wasp doesn't do anything.
It needs an extra 15 minutes.
She comes back at the end to sort of push Kang into the shrinkage, but it doesn't feel earned because she just pops up.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought. I thought if anyone earned it more, it would have been his daughter, Cassie.
Yeah,
I think if she did that, it'd have felt more earned.
Side note on her actress, because I didn't get to say this earlier. I think Cassie's actress. Catherine Newton, I believe, visually is well cast for Cassie.
Yeah.
I think whoever wrote the movie didn't do any reading on Cassie. There's flickers of her character in there, but there's really not much.
Well, this was written by Jeff Loveness, who's quite big in the production of Rick and Morty.
One of the complaints I saw for the film was
that sums up the dick jokes.
One of the complaints I saw for the film was that this feels like just a long bit of TV and not a film.
Absolutely.
And I can kind of see that. I think another bit I wanted to touch on was the ants, which I've seen a lot of people complaining about. Kang wasn't defeated by the ants. He came back after that. Stop complaining. And, it wasn't just a silly, the ants are here. It was that time dilation occurred for, they had 1,000 years to develop themselves. They were already developed at the beginning of the movie, so they had all that time. And, as I say, he wasn't defeated by them.
The final act just kind of washed over me. I think really cool moment was when the Wasp had Ant-Man in a hand really little, chucked him, and then he got really big as like a cannonball.
In the trailer again, though.
Was it actually? I didn't see that in the trailer.
Like there was a TV spot. Like the whole film is there. Strangely, the only thing they're not putting in trailers is MODOK.
No, he's in them.
He was in a couple. He was in a couple of shots.
What, the face?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
he was
face
in the
is
background of one shot.
Yeah.
But not like the focus.
No,
No.
you could see him. No, you could see the face. Yeah, no, it needed more time in the oven, we'll say.
Yeah, definitely. Tell you what, though, it has given me an idea. I think in a few weeks' time we should do one of the first ever episodes we did of the podcast way back in 2019 was a MCU tournament, and I think we should bring that back and do it with the three of us and see what might win that. I think that could be really fun.
Mm.
I'm interested for this. I'm down.
I will get to work on that this week. So be sure to
Huzzah.
be following us on Spotify and all the other places and give us a 5-star review. Otherwise, we won't do it.
Yeah, you've been warned.
This is it.
This is it. Have we got any last thoughts on this? Because I'm kind of done talking about this crap movie.
Um,
I'm done talking about you crap person.
Nice. Also, last thing, big fan of Evangeline Lilly coming on British radio, and someone asking her, do you think it's cold over here? And she said, yeah, it's fucking freezing in here. Big fan of that. Big fan of that. So big up Evangeline Lilly. I hope you're doing well. Right, shall we move on to the next section of the podcast?
yes.
Hey Joe. Hey Hamish.
Hello.
Hey,
How
hey,
about
Xander.
you guys? How about you guys sell me a movie, or a TV show, or a game, or a music, or a book if you're a nerd? Has anyone
Okay.
got a movie or something else to sell me?
Me? I've
Hamish,
got one.
you have your hand up. Yes.
Oh, of course I do. Right. DC. I know this is very superhero themed call so far, but DC. Have any of you guys heard of a character called The Question in DC?
Yes. From
No.
Justice League Unlimited.
Yes! Oh my God, you are a beautiful man. The
You have
question.
like the best episodes.
Oh, Xander, I can't believe I haven't spoken to you about this before. So, first of all, The Question, created by Steve Ditko, has a phenomenal black series, I believe it's called, or Black Label series, from DC, called The Deaths of Vic Sage. It is a 5-issue series. They are not long books. It is incredibly self-contained and takes place in Hub City. Hub City is The Question's home. Hub City makes Gotham City look like a playground. Gotham City is full of, like, you know, the Joker, Clayface, Mr. Freeze, all these, like, beautiful, like, amazingly crafted comic villains. In Hub City, you're just gonna get mugged. They're just gonna mug you and shank you and kick your teeth in. They're just horrible people. But the book follows Vic uncovering a cultist conspiracy in his own city as he quickly realizes that he has had several different lives, each going through different historical periods where this cult have killed him, and he's been resurrected and has taken on the moniker of The Question again. Please go read this comic. It is awesome. And I'm praying that James Gunn looks at The Question, because right now he's looking at kind of lesser known or lesser touched on DC characters, and The Question is at the top of that. James Gunn, you absolute coward, make a show about The Question.
I would watch the hell out of that.
The Question,
Please
The
make a
Death
new
of Vic
Starsky and
Sage.
Hutch reboot as well, please, James Gunn.
Agree. The Question, Deaths of Vic Sage. Go watch it. Go read it. You can get it online. You can get it wherever. All the issues are on eBay, and I am slowly collecting their nice variant covers.
Nice. That's a good recommend. That's an interesting one. Joseph, big Joseph.
Hello. I had a few options, but I'm going to go with the one that has controlled my life for the past couple of weeks. It is Puss in Boots, The
You
Last
fucking
Wish.
bastard. You
Was that what you were gonna do?
bastard!
Is that what you were gonna do?
Yes.
You lose! Good day, sir. No, so I've just been wanting to watch this for ages. I wasn't originally excited because the first Puss in Boots it's all right. But since then hasn't it been over a decade since the last Shrek universe film? So
11 years.
that's terrible. So it didn't feel needed, but because annoyingly it hasn't been out in the UK for a while. It's out in the UK now in cinemas, but it was predominantly out in America. I don't understand why. So you've probably seen all the clips from the film online already, but if you do get the chance, go see it in cinemas. I watched it via other
Mr. Arts.
miscellaneous sources.
You clicked your heels twice and it was on the TV.
I did with my little red heels, and it's gorgeous. It's the epitome of all that is good in this world. It's the equivalent of a smile.
Absolutely.
It's just like, if you're sad, if you're not feeling great, put it on, and it's just beautiful. I mean, everything about it is like, I love Puss in Boots now. Originally, it was like, okay, he's there. I love him. I mean, who is your favorite fearless hero? It's
Who is
him.
your favorite fearless hero?
That movie is amazing.
It's
absolutely
peak
is.
cinema. It's peak cinema.
I saw it last week, and it's just like, it's the best way to do an adult kids movie. It's the best way, because it is, it's obviously trying to be a kids movie, but it's just an animated film.
No, there are some
cinema.
scary bits in it, and
There are some scary bits. The main villain is amazing. All the villains are amazing.
Oh, the second villain's not in any of the trailers or posters, so no one knew about him. No, but it's great,
And he's just
We
excellent.
love that.
he's great.
And
but go see it though.
The little dog sidekick, you're waiting for him to be annoying, and he's just...
he's not.
I expected
he's
that,
not.
but he wasn't.
He wasn't.
Nothing is allowed to hurt that dog.
Voiced
No.
by the guy
Guillermo.
who plays Guillermo in What We Do in the Shadows.
If anything happens to Perito, we riot. We riot.
Oh, what else about that movie is great? The first 10 minutes is actually on YouTube, and I have watched it several times and
As
sent it
you
to
should.
several people and said, watch this and then go watch it. Watch the full thing. Pay for this movie.
Agreed.
It is truly excellent. Joe, I'm really gutted that you chose that.
Xander, what about you? What recommendation have you got for us?
I would like to sell you guys a movie, but it is not a new one. It is a movie from all the way back in 1980.
Oh, that's old. I don't want to watch old shit.
It is a old movie, and it is called The Fog.
Ah, I have not seen this.
This is a movie directed by John Carpenter, and it is his follow-up to Halloween. And it is a ghost film about a town that gets terrorized by ghost pirates.
I've
Oh.
heard good things about this movie.
I saw it the other night, and I made the mistake of watching it on my own, thinking it's from the 80s, this won't scare me, and I pissed my pants.
It's actually scary.
It's actually, genuinely, it's actually scary.
Well, it's John Carpenter.
It's John Carpenter, and I texted my dad after the film ended, because he was the one that has been talking about this film for so long, and I said, I think John Carpenter might be one of my favourite directors now.
He is a master of
Because
cinema.
I've seen his run in the 80s is absolutely incredible. So he had Halloween in 78, then The Fog in 1980, then The Thing in 82. Then throughout the decade then he also had Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China, and They Live.
Yep.
Which are all classics. And this is just the start of that in the 80s. I think the I've forgotten her name. Which one was it? The woman in the radio tower, she was great. I thought because there's a woman in the radio tower who sort of is telling the survivors in the town where the fog is, so that the pirate ghosts come in the fog, and so if you stay away from the fog, you stay away from the pirate ghosts. But she's like at some weather tower up high in the in the hills in this town, and so she's looking down and she can see the fog rolling in, and she's like, stay away from this area. And so you see people get like chopped up around there. It's a really great movie. The tension's excellent, and the opening scene is surprisingly really good for what is pretty much just an exposition dump. It's just an opening scene where this guy tells the story of the pirate ghosts and why they might come back to the town, and then they do come back to the town and kill everyone. It's really good, and the ending is also excellent. I would put this high up on my horror movie list, and if you guys get the opportunity, go and check it out.
Interesting.
So
Awesome.
yeah, take the time to watch it. Right, that will do it for this
I
week.
think that wraps us up.
Wraps us up nicely in a little bow. Thank you so much for listening to anyone that's made it this far. If you would like to hear more from the Filmian podcast, then flick back through our feed. We've got over 100 episodes for you to digest and listen to.
They are scrumptious to
They are
digest.
They are
scrumptious
beautiful. Because I'm in a few of them.
beautiful episodes.
I'm in a few of them as well.
Not enough though, guys. Not enough. I'm in all of them, which makes them.
Oh, we don't want that.
Oh, Xander.
Had to ruin it, Xander.
Joe, thank you so much for being here. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Cook11Joseph, where I just talk about some random stuff. Sometimes sometimes TV and film. Or you can find me on YouTube at Rebel Hoovian, and if you want to look at my artwork, you can find me on Instagram, JoeCook_digital_artist.
Fantastic, thank you. And Hamish, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Beaten Hamish. I know, it's very inventive. Where we talk about all things cinema and comic book. I also like to occasionally engage in one of Joe's old tweets that I like commenting on, and then he goes on a tangent on why the hell am I commenting on an ancient tweet. Xander, keep an eye out for that on your own feed.
I'm very excited.
Speaking of which, where can the people find you?
Well, you can just find me on the Filmian Podcast Instagram, at official Filmian Pod, and on Twitter, I believe we're Filmian Pod 1. I can't remember. All the links will be in the description. There's a link tree down there, so you can press on that, and all of the available links for the podcast, including the Spotify, the Apple Podcast, the Amazon. Give us a 5-star review on any of those. It really does help us out. And yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is for next time. Maybe we'll be doing that Marvel tournament. I'm unsure, but we will certainly be here
We'll be chit-chatting and chit-chatting.
We will return.
We will return.
The Filmian Podcast.
The end?
Return.
Raggy? Sorry, we won't do that again. Thank you so much to everyone for listening, and we will see you next time on the Filmian Podcast. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta.
Sauce.
Epic. Egg. Sauce.